Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to another Clearmud live stream. Let's dig in, shall we? Agent Atlas is looking good. Product OS, has a direct kind of reflection, but in our styling. And yeah, welcome back to another Clearmud live stream. Let's dig in, shall we? Perfect. We are live. Let me make sure I mute that. And do a hard refresh there. That's looking good. Yo, what's up, Sharma? How you doing today? Happy Monday. Cheers. Yeah, forgive the late start today. Had to take care of something this morning, and instead of 9:15 and making you wait a few minutes, I kind of predicted 9:30 would be the great start time. So here we are. Now, if anybody uses Brave browser, by the way, not sure if you've noticed this, I did go ahead and sign up and reserve a few agent names, but feel free to go do the same. It may be worth the wait. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how I would apply this yet, right? Because I don't want people to discover my agents, However, you never know. So just go reserve your favorite tag, as this might become something, right? So hey, thank you, Sharma. Been grinding it out with Hermes so far. More stable and gives better results than OpenClaw. Interesting find. Cool. It's good to hear. Yeah, listen, like Muddy OS and Clearmud OS, those are dialed in. Those are staying on OpenClaw. However, tomorrow I'm going to record a video where I attempt to migrate. We'll see how it goes. If it doesn't go good, I won't release the video, right? It really depends on, like, A, do I have a good experience? B, do I think you'll find value in it, right? So I'm just going to record my screen, start the migration, see what happens. And this week I do want to play with the Kanban board some more. Looks like we are having some issues with, this is our default agent port too. That's weird. But I think this week's more about making that video and then also making a video releasing these two plugins, one of which is going to be the Agent Atlas, the other is going to be this floating chat bubble. Good morning. Nice little slow start. Also have some internal things on my list for today that I want to get done. That over the weekend, finished my renovations. Bathroom is dialed in, which is nice. And finally got all of the paint, all of the tools out of the unit. Cleaned up, did a deep clean sesh, finished the kitchen. So it feels like a home again, which is nice. Before everyone tunes in, give me some quick quinoa recipes and hacks. I've taken your word on. Nice. Good to hear. One of my favorite summer dishes is it's a mixture of, you always want to make the quinoa a day before, put it in the fridge when you're mixing it into like a salad type dish, because when you're done cooking with it, it's still warm, it's hot. You also have to wait for it to fluff up so you can fork it. So I like to make a big batch of quinoa like the day before or the beginning of the week, so I have plenty to spare. Put it in the fridge, let it obviously get to room temperature, then put it in the fridge after forking it. And then when you take it out to prepare your dish, you fork it again to get it a little bit more fluffy. But quinoa, black beans, green onions, bell peppers, diced, and then a mixture of olive oil, lemon juice, salt, minced garlic, and pepper. You mix that together as a marinade. You put that in at the very end though. And let me give you the like the breakdown. So first you rinse your beans, whether you cook them from scratch or not, or use a can, that's up to you. You rinse them, get all the moisture out as much as possible, so you let them just sit over a pot in a strainer. Put the beans in, dice those bell peppers, put those in, dice the green onions, put those in. Also cilantro for this dish. You dice up the cilantro, maybe a small handful, you know, depending on how much you're using. And then you do the marinade. Don't put it all in. You marinate it, use a spatula, make sure it's evenly distributed across all of those ingredients thus far. And then put the rest of the marinade in. And then at the very end, you put your fluffy quinoa that's been sitting in the fridge overnight. You don't want to put that too soon, because then it absorbs too much of that marinade. You want that marinade to evenly coat all of those ingredients first. And like this dish, especially in the summer, I'll make a batch a week. That way I have a bowl a day. Like, and it's protein, fiber, like it's healthy, it's delicious. There's some other ones too for like the holiday season. I'll do like a roasted butternut squash or roasted sweet potatoes. You got to make sure you get them crispy. So you got to go through that process of, you know, I tend to first pan fry them to like sear the edges, and then I'll put them in the oven, and then I'll let them dry. And then, you know, I'll dice up some kale. You want to make sure you put some lemon juice and olive oil and let that soak up in the quinoa, or the kale for that matter. And then you mix those ingredients together, add some cranberries, some walnuts, and then also some quinoa, and you mix it all together. So there's a lot of different approaches. It's honestly just like you make the big batch, and then you think of what ways you can combine it. I can give you so many more, but those are two of my go-tos. I'll do this holiday season one even outside of the holidays. It doesn't need to be the holidays for me to make that one, but it is known to be a holiday dish because of the cranberries. Yo, Yet. Hi, thanks to you. Now I run my entire business with Hermes and GPT-5, not coding, streetwear, clothing manufacturer business. Created 4 agents and now in process of creating a web app. Like a command center, I'm a 51-year-old boomer with no coding experience and didn't even know what GitHub was until 2 months. Let's go, dude. Awesome. I'm thrilled that this channel has been able to help you, but you know, I got to give credit where it's due. That's on you for taking the time to learn and try, right? I can only do so much, but if you don't apply yourself, like, so thank you. Like, I appreciate the kind words here, but this is all on you. This is all on you for like taking those steps and building what you've built, right? And you're going to continue to learn more and more and more and more. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing. Yeah, for sure. And always, you know, maybe I'll do a little cooking channel in the Discord. Always happy to share my recipes. I definitely have more, but those are the 2 off the top of my head. And then I'm also a simple eater sometimes. Sometimes I'll just do quinoa, sweet potatoes, and broccoli, or quinoa, sweet potatoes, and avocado, and just eat a big plate full. And then I'll do caramelized onions almost with every dish. Although with those 2 recipes I shared with you, you probably don't want to do that. And that's probably one thing I missed out is you can add some red onions, diced or minced, depending on your preference, into that holiday season dish that I shared second. Yeah, slow start today. I kind of want to do, I'm going to be honest, I kind of want to go back to doing some ideation here today, and then work on the plugins towards the end. So this one's set. We can set that as a B-roll harvest. That's live. This one's been backlogged, but I feel like I should film it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to move this one back because it's just, I don't want to backlog it. I still want to keep it in the idea. Oh, interesting. That's definitely archived. There we go. This is also a good one. I think we might be worth making. One thing that's missing is, primarily because I haven't tested it thoroughly yet, but Mr. Baker in chat, he probably has the day off. But it's the skills associated with the Kanban. I want to test all these before I make a video on them, right? But I think that we can at least prep a script so it's on my Kanban board here. Video orchestrator, Kanban orchestrator. I don't even want to feel like trying to spell that right now. Kanban worker and Kanban codex lane. Let's run it, shall we? I'll be testing this a lot, so I'm working on a little side project right now. I'm not going to share too much about it. Let me actually pull that off screen really quickly. Let me make sure I kind of hide. I'll tease a little bit, but essentially, I'm building out a little tester. I'm calling it Mia OS. You'll learn why it's called Mia OS in a little bit. It's a side project. And if it goes successfully, I'll make a video about it. But I do not want to tease it. I do not want to give it too much attention right now. I want to see how I can pull this off organically. But I'm essentially crafting a multi-agent team in a fresh Hermes agent setup to accomplish a goal by creating something. And this something, you guys are just gonna have to wait and see. You're just gonna have to wait and see. But I'm gonna be using the Kanban skills as soon as I finish migrating it, because I originally started building this idea in a demo account, and I just made that OS last night to migrate everything to it, to its own segregated sandboxed VM, rather than being a part of a demo account. It just kept bugging me that it was structured that way. So yeah, y'all would just have, you're just gonna have to wait and see. I will definitely show, if it works, I will definitely be making content around it and showing how I did it, the steps to take, etc., etc. Yeah, I saw that. I didn't dig into it too much. Seems cool. Seems like a cool concept for sure. Let me know, like, as you dig more into that. Ooh, I like strategy too. No, my personal setup is something that you guys probably will never see the light of day. That is something just for me. It's, you know, I have gone through, I have so many different accounts in this digital world, and for the most part, I remember all the birthdays that are important to me. However, some slip through the cracks. So it's going to be just a personal bot. It's not only going to be a birthday reminder, there's so much more to it, but it's a personal OpenClaw setup that, listen, I show enough of everything else to where this is going to stay. It's going to be for me. So I'll never show that one. But this other one I'm working on, it has a goal to generate X amount of revenue monthly. And I just want to see if I can pull it off with as minimal input as possible, right? It is upfront requiring a lot of hand holding, but it's more so hand holding from the perspective of approving certain assets before I give it the green light on, you know, the 14 to 30 day plan. Yeah, so the personal bot, you guys will never see. That one's just for me. But there's going to be so much personal information to me on that personal bot. That is the main reason why. And it's how I start my day now. So I start my day in that personal bot before I even touch Muddy. I just needed that for me, you know. Yeah, and it's strictly personal. It has nothing to do with Clearmud. It's aware of Clearmud. It's aware of what I'm working on every day, but it's aware of my skill sets, but its purpose is solely personal. All right, let's add that to the calendar. Ooh. Man, it nailed it. It nailed this description. Let's see what its hook is. I probably won't follow it. That's a great hook. I'm going to change that a little bit, right? Because I shoot from the hip. And then I never really read the story, to be honest. That's just kind of there if I need it. Let's see what titles it came up with. I really love this, but I'd probably, since this is Hermes specific, for SEO purposes, I'd say Hermes agents are useless without this. Even though on the thumbnail, I would put the Hermes agent banner. So it's clearly a Hermes agent video. I would want to take advantage of that keyword though. I didn't build it, so I would have to X that idea. This is actually really cool for a separate video. These top two are my favorite, for sure. Okay. Man, it did a great job on this one. Sometimes it kind of misses the beat on the YouTube description. Primarily also because I don't really know what the video is going to evolve into. Like the title is like the original topic of conversation, but it's not always what I stick to. but I like this one a lot. We're 5-starring that. And I may have to, we'll see. If this week goes well with testing, maybe I'll squeeze that into the 31st. I'll just mark it there for now so it's on the calendar, but I already have so many other things scheduled for the 31st. I think the plugins actually, I'm gonna set the 30th. And I think I'll clear this. I'll move this back because I feel like I keep backlogging that one. Oh, I already have one marked for the 6th and the 7th. Interesting. So we will clear that because I feel like that'll be a future video. We're also going to clear that. All right, it's cleaning up quite a bit. This one I will also clear. Yep, this one's definitely going to be backlogged. I just have no interest in, oh, it's already marked as backlogged. Awesome. All right. Makes it easier. Makes it easier. Okay. All right, let's get to it. Now, I know we were primarily working on this in those threads, so let me pull up those threads really quickly. All right, now we need to test this chat bubble plugin. I think we're at a great point where we can try to turn it into a downloadable plugin or skill. What would be the best approach here to start sharing this with the community? Now, obviously, I'll be testing it on one of my Hermes demo accounts first to see if it's a seamless install, but I think we're at a good point to beta test this. All right, and then let's move over to Agent Atlas. All right, now I want to start thinking from the perspective of, actually, let's adjust this slightly before we think from that perspective. So, you know, the top two tiles are solid, operator and orchestrator. They're not redundant. One thing I do notice is for the human operator / CEO, it should be CEO / human operator. It should always be the acronym of the job title before the description afterwards, right? The same should apply. Scratch that. So the same already applies to everybody else. Orchestrator, engineering, marketing, growth, and research all have that structure, which is great. I'm just prompting that to start the thread up again so that we can show it off here. Ooh, wrong window. Now, for our orchestrator, I love the tile. It's clean, straight to the point. For the administrator, I think we list off administrator too many times. So I think we should call it system admin and then administrator, all caps, and then admin / API agent. That's great. And then going down to our chief of staff, right? Below Neo. like there's a lot of redundant wording here. You say architect twice. Yeah, that's really only the redundant area. So I'm wondering if we clean that up. So you have this container within a container where I think we can just use the container within the container, right? So the title of the tile above could essentially be co-located into that container that has the tags, that has, you know, chief architect, chief mouse, chief Morpheus. So I think the solution here is, you know, the first line should be, for example, engineering, then CTO, or then architect, then the name. Then below that is the acronym for the job title and job description. Let me know if you need any screenshots. Let's make this minor tweak. Hey, good morning, Matthew. How we doing today? Oh yeah, let me know what you guys think about this. So it's not final, but I keep going back and forth. I'm gonna drag this in here. First impressions of this logo. First impressions. So this is based off of, shout out to Cross-Eyed Sensei, aka fellow California native over here. Don't mean to dox you, but he sent me a few. I'll even pull them up. Let me pull up the entire thread of like the evolution of where my brain went. Oh, we squirrel around here. If you're new to the channel, we're not only working on Hermes plugins, we squirrel. We work on a lot of things at once. But I am, you know, getting to the point where I want to create a more permanent logo. Our avatar is going to stay the same until I cut the dreads. Let's just face that. But it's the icon, it's the brand logo just for everything else, right? The website, etc., etc. So here is where my brain went. I started off by sharing one of my favorites that he shared with me. And I was like, wow, this is really cool, but once you zoom out, it's a little too busy. So then I came up with this based off of that. And I'm like, still too busy. So just kept going through the process. Let's see, this was me collaborating. And I had a power icon in my previous company's logo. So I was like, what if I incorporate that into it? And it was a cool concept at first. This started looking more like a joystick than anything. And then I started, you know, seeing viewpoints of what it would look like embroidered versus vinyl sticker versus laser engraved versus, you know, signage on a building. Why can't I increase the width of that? What is going on? There we go. This is the evolution. It's just something wasn't sitting right. And then I got somewhere. Wasn't there. And then I started doing this, like, you know, split background. This was honestly inspired by sports logos. Namely, NFL doesn't do this, I don't think, but MLB and NBA has a border with colors, and then the silhouette is the icon, right? So that whole thing's the icon, but they really use the background colors as the primary, and then just a white silhouette of a player usually, right? And then I was like, ooh, I kind of like that. So how can I go in that direction but make it simple? And we were coming up with these different, like, I didn't really like this. And then we got to this here. And this is where I was like, ooh, this kind of looks like a C. What if I do a sideways M? And it couldn't do this itself, right? I had to go into Photoshop to do it manually because it just no matter how many times I said it, it just kept messing up. I think this was the closest that it got, right? And then it also did this as well. I didn't feel this. I wasn't feeling this at all. And then we had this cube approach, but then it just like more than anything looks like a C and a 3 than it does look like a C and an M. Yeah. I don't think this one's gonna stick, but so far, I don't know. I like it, but I don't like it. It's like, it's a love-hate with this logo so far. It's a love-hate. All right, let's go back to this here. All right, sounds good to me. Let's yeah, the only thought I had, let me scroll up here. Like, people can install it manually, right? Or if they just give a GitHub link to their agents can then deploy it. So maybe we should have some install instructions for agents. Is that necessary? Let's see how the Atlas is looking after that last prompt. Okay, better, but there's still this redundant section here. So essentially, all I want is this to be this. So we'll get there. This was supposed to be above, that was supposed to be below. Come on now. Okay. All right, get it done. No response from provider. Uh-oh. What's going on? It's not a usage thing, right? No way. Yeah, I'm not even close. Yo, what's up, cross-eyed? Sensei, how you doing today? I gave you a shout out not too long ago. We went down a little branding rabbit hole. All right, I showed off my favorite that you sent me, but also just the path that I took to get to this one that I have a love-hate with it right now. I have a very love-hate with it right now, but I love the simplicity of it, but I just don't think, I don't know, maybe it's just too big. Maybe we need to zoom out a little bit, and maybe it's the colors. That felt right. That feels right, so you guys can actually see. All right, looks like it's not retrying anymore, which is a good sign. So there's a slight little hiccup. I have no notes here. This actually looks solid. Whoops, I do not like how I just clicked out of that so easily. It's annoying. Wrong chat. I'm gonna do that one more time. All right, one thing to add here, not a bad second pass, but this is what I'm talking about. So check out this screenshot. You see at the very top, right? You see engineering, CTO, chief architect, architect. I want to remove that section, essentially that whole container, and then turn the container below into the container that starts off that column, right? Because we're being redundant with all the information you're showing off below, right? And I think that just for example, below we have engineering, then the name of the agent, which is great, and then CTO slash, just spell out the acronym. So in this case, it would be Chief Technology Officer. And then the subtext, I want you to space that down, and that should be aligned to the left where the tags are aligned in a line below, right? So a description of what the agent handles. Let me know if you have any questions. That should apply across all of our chief of staff, all 4 columns. Also, the administrator, it should say system admin first, then administrator in the middle, then admin API agent. Looks good. There. And I'm just going to take that off screen for a quick second. Much better. I mean, it still has this weird border within a border, but we can fix that. We can fix that. And it could very well still be working. All right, let's go back. I think the default Hermes dashboard port is 9119. Please, please reference the docs. Confirm that you configured this skill, or rather this plugin correctly. Here's the Hermes agent docs. Should have everything you need to properly build this out. And cross-reference the work that you've done. Okay. And I just started a thread here. For the Kanban, so we can start testing all of those skills. Let's see if it finished, because I looked before this response. Now, maybe this container is necessary, but I kind of want to get rid of it, personally. Oh, I hate it. Sometimes when I try to drag the screenshot immediately, I lose it. All right, we're almost there. So I took a screenshot. What you can see here is, you know, the start of each column, it's, for example, engineering within that whole container for the entire column. What I would essentially like that border to be invisible, so that, or just remove it altogether so that it just looks like a cleaner connect. I don't know, it just feels too boxy to me, if that's the right word. Yeah, I think that's it. Some functionality I would like to add is if I hover over the model tag, like, yeah, if I hover over the model tag, we can see the specifics as to what level of reasoning is set to that agent. Additionally, the skills, I think that should pop open, you know, a rather large chat bubble that's centered, that just shows all the skills attached. And then when it comes to you putting a pill tag on, for example, architect, mouse, so the names of the agents, I think that those should always be yellow. So I know that, yeah, just make sure those are always yellow. And yeah. Let me know if you have any questions. That's a good place to start right now. It happens. It happens. Yeah, of course. Hey, thanks for the inspiration. I went down a rabbit hole that evening. Just gonna open up a new browser profile. What? There we go. Actually need to clean up my GitHub. Yeah, I have some old demos on here I can delete. Let's see, delete this. As well. I guess I'll leave the roast battle up, the video captions app up. And then we'll delete this one as well. Oh, I can archive. Oh, but that still makes it changes visibility. No, I don't. This is all old stuff that I have no intention of using, so I'll delete that one too. But just in case people want to see the I believe we're just going to call this Hermes Chat Bubble. Is that correct? Yep. Yeah, Hermes Chat Bubble. Now I feel like I should take this off screen just for a quick second because I should test this before I start sending out links because I don't want this to break anybody's system. Show it pretty soon. Maybe if you guys want to be test dummies. First, I'm going to test it on a fresh setup here. Let me just open up a demo account. Hermes demo. Power on. All right, got this demo account launching here. I'm gonna take a quick bio break, and we'll continue along here. Actually, what did I... Oh, I think it was that. Yeah. All right, cool. So this is just a fresh install. I believe I configured Hermes agent dashboard already, but I didn't enable the TY chat. So let's just do all those prerequisites and let's unpin that. Hermes should load. Yeah, we load. Did I not configure a model though? Oh no, we're on GPT-5.5. Perfect. Let's see if by default. I don't even think I enabled the dashboard yet. Yeah, I didn't do anything with this demo account yet. Perfect. Pop that over to the right. There we go. Yo, what's up, Ryan? Ninja Lurk, just saying hi. Hope you're having a great start to the week there, Ryan. And if you celebrate the holiday that I believe only the United States is celebrating, I hope everybody has a great holiday. There we go. What? It's like if I don't release quick enough, it doesn't actually, there we go. Perfect. meantime though, let me actually, I'm gonna keep the repository private for now. That way I can test it thoroughly, but I'd imagine by Friday this thing's live and you guys can download it yourselves. Just to be safe. Because I'm gonna test it on this demo account. I'm also gonna test it on that other system that I've been working on as a side project. And then I have another Hermes system I can test it on as well. So I really want to do my due diligence on installing the plugin on, as you can see, a fresh demo versus a system that already has a lot done to it. And then lastly, another system that has a moderate amount of work completed. Do not save. Can move that back over, and we can actually close that out as well. Still problem loading. We gotta just give it some patience here. Nice. I'm just gonna copy this and feed it to this agent once it's ready. Now the repo is still private, so I'm logged in here, so it should be fine. Done. Dashboard is now running. Cool. There's a persistent user, system service. Great. Now, did you do the chat? You did the chat. Wonderful. Did it all in one. Awesome. Hey, what's up, alls? It's been a minute. How you doing? Happy Monday. Cheers. Thanks for stopping by. How you been? And I'm just gonna allow for this session. Oop, I was tapped into the wrong. Ooh, and since we're on a demo account, I also want to test somebody in the community released one of their themes. Shout out Mr. Baker. Let's go check it out. Ooh, thanks for your notes, Sensei. I wonder if I accidentally, when I was creating that, I'm now curious. Let's see. You'll see my just ridiculous Photoshop skills that are horrible, but they work. No, I mean, I don't have any. Yeah, it's at 100%. It was just me testing different colors. I really love the blue. Yeah, I don't think I accidentally... I guess I just have to make them... Ooh, one thing I didn't even think about. I could do both sides. I can either do this as a split effect. Did I not select the right thing? It's because effects were disabled. Can I either do it like this split effect, which I'm gonna have to just save as an option to look next to each other, or I do it as a whole. I feel like the whole looks better. All right, we'll go back. Let's go see how we're doing with that plugin install, shall we? That's because the repo is private. Now, if you do browser control in the Firefox browser, I did log into that GitHub account. Do we have to do a git auth so that you could clone that repo? Or can you just use the browser? Guessing we're gonna, oh, that's right. This is why I also hate, look what happens when I try voice to texting through the VM. It's really annoying. All right. I'm gonna have to type that, aren't I? Wonderful. Whoops, I meant to hit escape, not V. Ignore that. I'm not sure what you want me to do with that. Repo is private. We can get auth, so you have access. I already logged into Git on the browser. That's too funny. That is too funny. I'll work on the colors next, Sensei. I'll work on the colors next. No. So I'm personally not moving. I mean, my internal ops for Clearmud is still OpenClaw. I am going to record a video where I attempt to migrate it to Hermes to see what breaks, to see if it was easy, pros and cons, etc., etc. But will I keep it on Hermes? No. Hermes is, I'm building out a completely separate OS that is going to be revenue generating products or free open source things that we create and release. Essentially my product OS, which is going to be managed by my Hermes team. Today we're working on plugins, right? I want to share these plugins with the public, but this is essentially the gist of my multi-agent team on Hermes. And then I have this product OS I've been slowly developing. Now, this is just a direct reflection of this plugin, right? The same with my ops here. So this is just a direct feed from the Hermes dashboard. And then these are all the unique pages I'm creating per product, per idea. And then I also have the embedded TY chat in product OS as well. But, first I'm dialing in my multi-agent team here through profiles. We're going to be playing with the Kanban here very soon. I've been feeding it a ton of context. We've been making a ton of plans, but I haven't given this system too much responsibility yet. We're still very much in the experimentation phase of building out this team. But I also noticed that nobody had like a traditional org chart plugin made. So I went ahead and made this for me. And then I thought, ooh, maybe I'll release this to the public. So we're just fine tuning this today. I also built this chat bubble that it's dependent on this being enabled here. But no matter where you are in chat, like let's say you can kind of reposition it. You can essentially work out of your TUI chat without having to close it. And it's a persistent session with this here. So when you go back to chat, obviously it disappears because you're in the full screen chat. So this is something we're actually testing today as far as deploying it on a fresh Hermes agent system to see if it works. All right, let me do the auth here really quickly. We won't run into this once it's actually a public repo, but because it's still private, I have to authenticate GitHub on this account, and I'm just going to do that off screen really quickly. Hey, what's up? Z Audio, Zudio, InfoSec. Yeah, today, I hope that explained it. We're just working on some plugins. We're squirreling a little bit. I know at the beginning of the live stream, I did some ideation for upcoming videos we're going to record. Yeah, mainly just working on these two plugins and anything else that crossed the table. How you doing today? Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the comment. What's up, Hezer? You know, it's not that complicated. I would say it's more... It's only more steps. I think it has one more step than Telegram in the sense of like you need to go to the Discord developers page to set up a bot token, to check certain boxes and things like that. So it is a little bit tedious from that perspective. Whereas with Telegram, you just go message, I think it's the bot father account. You create a bot, you get the token, you get the pairing code, you give that to Hermes, you're set. So I think Telegram is technically easier to set up, but it's just a preference, honestly. I set up Discord because, you know, I've already started testing the cross-agent communication here, but I essentially am setting up all of my C-suite team on OpenClaw to communicate with my C-suite team on Hermes. So I have this collaborative executive assistants chat that I can just post an idea, and my two executive assistants on each system will go back and forth and finish whatever I ask them to do, right? And they QA each other. So it's really awesome from that perspective. I'm sure you can set up that type of functionality in Telegram, but I would rather set that functionality up in Discord for now, you know? So yeah, you give me an idea. Maybe I should make some videos around, you know, setting it up on Discord versus Telegram. I guess throw one in chat if you want to see me make that video. And if you're watching this recording, just let me know you want to see how to set up Telegram and Discord in the chat below, you know? And if I see enough requests, I'll record the video. But there's so many people recording, you know, who have released those steps. It's kind of like, it's redundant, and I don't want to say it's a waste of time, but I feel like those instructions are already out there. So I'd rather focus on making videos around things that would bring more value than that. But you let me know. You let me know, Heather, if you want to see that video. We can knock one out. Yeah, right on. All right, let's go back and check on that. We're gonna allow once. All right. What? Interesting. All right. All right, looks like it's gonna continue the work, so we can move that back on screen. That's a focus for today. Much better, much cleaner. Okay. Interesting. These pill tags are now massive. Interesting. What happened here? And why did this change? Interesting. I'm gonna see what happens when we install that plugin. All right, so now these pill tags are just a little too big. I want to reduce the text size, the font size, and also reduce the height of the pill tags. I'll send you a screenshot. They just really pop. It's, more importantly, when I click skills, no skills list available yet. When I try to hover over a model, nothing happens, or the model that that agent is set to, the reasoning level is not shown. Okay, installed and verified. So let's see if this works, shall we? Hey, look at that! Yo, this is really cool. Uh-oh, it's working. It's working. What? First try too. That's really cool. I don't like how it got rid of the chat icon that we had though. What happened with that? I don't remember asking it to replace that. So let's go back here. Wow. Okay. I mean, it worked flawlessly on our demo account. It loads. However, I'm noticing that through us getting it ready to share, you changed the floating icon to some dot or diamond, and then you added the text back in there. I just wanted it to be the chat bubble icon like we had previously. Why did you change that? And then more importantly, as we continue to, let's say, improve this floating chat bubble, is there a way for the end user to easily update it without having to go through the whole process again? Like saying in plain English to their Hermes agent, please update our Hermes Chat Bubble plugin. That then cross-references whether or not there's a new a newer commit to that repo that's live. How would that go down? Still though, pretty nifty, and it looks like it did. Interesting. So it doesn't fully work the way I want it to work. So we can open full chat. Additionally, I'm noticing that some of the functionality that we have, oh yeah, you killed some of the functionality. So we used to be able to drag it anywhere on the screen. There was also hotkeys to on the top right hand side to either expand to full chat, view sessions, right? And then minimize it. So I'm not sure if you did this for functionality purposes or compatibility purposes, but why did you kill all that hard work that we did, right? We used to have that function to drag it anywhere on screen and then resize it from any of the corners. And when you resize it, it never essentially resizes outside of the container that it's in. So I didn't. I'm making a lot of Hermes content right now because I'm building out my own OS on Hermes, utilizing Hermes agent systems to build out, but I'm still learning. So I'd rather just learn in public. When it comes to OpenClaw, no, Muddy OS is still very much OpenClaw. Clearmud OS is still very much OpenClaw. I will not be changing. I have spent so much time in building that system out, and I do, however, because there's a lot of people switching over, I thought it might be valuable to make a video about switching over. So there is a skill that apparently makes that migration process easier. So I'm going to make a video around me migrating Muddy OS and seeing what breaks. Is it easy? Is it worth it? Will I be staying? You already know I'm not going to stay, right? Like, I have no intention of migrating my OpenClaw to Hermes. There are some annoyances that I've been running into, but for the most part, like, I'm not unhappy with OpenClaw. I still use it every day. But these live streams have been predominantly around Hermes. The recent long form videos have been around Hermes because, I'm learning about it. I'm discovering things that I think are worth sharing. So, but no, it's, I've also set up this cross collaboration Discord that's completely private. Let me actually move that so you can see. But I have a Hermes X OpenClaw, so my executive assistants come together when I have a task for them, and they go back and forth talking to one another until that task is done. So primarily I have them working on video props, but I have my growth agents that are going to be communicating, having meetings on a weekly basis between Hermes and OpenClaw. Same with my marketing division and engineering divisions. So yeah, I'm not migrating by any means, but I am, I am testing Hermes quite a bit because it is very useful. It's a great system. But is it going to replace Muddy OS, as far as its host? No, definitely not. Ah, okay. Right on, right on. Hey, I'm glad you made that switch early on, I've been testing Hermes since, I want to say, beginning of April, end of March. I know I discovered it in March through somebody in the community, but it took me a while to like actually start playing with it. And yeah, I'm still continuing to test it, right? Today is all about, we're just building plugins that I'm going to be sharing with you guys. Because I'm building first plugins for me that I think will be, you know, useful to you as well. And as I build out more, you know, I'll be sharing more for sure. Nice, nice. I got rate limited during a meeting with 13 agents and it dropped my usage to 100% in minutes. Woo! That's wild, yeah. So I want to go back and see why. Why it decided to dumb it down, essentially. Much better. Okay. All right, much better. However, the text in the pill tags are not center aligned. I'll screenshot it so you can see. And it looks like the text on the pill tags on the entire page are not center aligned. It might actually still be finishing that work, huh? Yeah, we'll wait. Hey, thank you, Aquarius. I appreciate the feedback, the support. Yeah, it's my goal to continue to make useful videos, you know, videos that bring value to anybody watching them, anybody wanting to create their own multi-agent team or single agent team for that matter, or anybody wanting to install Hermes or OpenClaw to test, you know? I think that's always the most overlooked topic because I think, you know, people want to jump in and immediately build this complex system with all these moving parts without first testing the system, right? Without first testing one agent with one automation, layering on another and another and another. So I really want to hammer in the approach of starting small and starting simple, because I see a lot of people go down an agentic path but then get very frustrated or just stop working on their system because they try to build something too complex too soon, right? Whereas the solution there is start simple, start with one agent, one automation, and then layer on from there, right? I really want to keep with that. As far as keeping that as like a center of like my talking point, right? Yeah. So this is why I haven't tried it. I'm bootstrapping this brand. I am not about to just go throw money away for the sake of testing something that, to me, at this moment, is more vanity than anything. I think it's cool to make content around, like, hey, I'm talking with my agent real time. But like, the reality of it is, are you gonna have those meetings with your agent real time, like every time? I think once it becomes more affordable to do so, I think we will. But I think it's one of those things where you'll start using it occasionally, but will you be using it every day? Will you call up your CTO to just have a conversation? Probably not, right? You'll probably just queue a message. That way he can handle it with all of his agents or sub agents. No, that's just me. You could very much be on the side of like, no, I'd rather be able to call, and then through that call, he handled, that's like me prompting, right? That's the long answer. Short answer is no, I have not tested that yet, but it's on my list. And I'm just gonna send that prompt. I drank way too much coffee. Bio break, BRB, 2 minutes. Yeah. Yeah, and you got to go through it to learn it, right? Like, um, yeah, if you aren't like, listen, I think for any AI agent system, you should be using a subscription, primarily OpenAI, because unless you have that budget and you have that money that you can throw at a wall via API credits, the subscriptions are the move, right? Like, yeah, it'll get ridiculously expensive otherwise. Whoa, you reduced the height further? No, whoa. Those are way too small now. They were already borderline too small. What I was mentioning was the text inside of the pill tag containers are not centered from top to bottom, right? They were more leaning towards the top of the pill tag frame than the bottom. Whoa, yeah, no, you made them way too small now. The last version, they were borderline too small, but I was okay with them. What I was referencing was more so the text inside of the pill tag is not center aligned. And when I say center aligned, I'm not just talking about horizontally, I'm talking about vertically as well. Excuse me, I should have muted. Nice. Yeah, listen, this is not a paid advertisement. And I wouldn't have recommended this until 5.5, but the OpenAI sub, I pay for the $200 a month one, and I am running this system, another system, all the demos, as well as a personal system, all off of the same subscription. With the same amount of work that I'm doing now on a Claude max sub, I had to pay $400 a month for 2 max subs back then. Now I'm able to accomplish everything I was doing in those 2 max subs in 1 AI Pro sub. Listen, because of the fact that OpenAI is at the moment the only frontier model who has publicly stated you can use our models via subscription for your OpenClaw systems, and alternatively Hermes. I don't know if they've spoken about Hermes yet, but I would assume it's one and the same on their end. Because you have that peace of mind knowing they're not going to ban your account or cut access at any given time, whereas Anthropic, as we all know, dropped the ban hammer from you using their subscriptions for AI agents. Now, there's some workarounds, I believe, here on June 14th. They're addressing those workarounds. Anthropic is just really against you using their models at all. So, to my understanding, the changes that are coming on, now I can't remember if it was June 4th or June 14th, but essentially the Claude P, the non-interactive Claude command, is going to be completely separate off of their subscription, right? So you're not going to be able to use, your agents aren't going to be able to use this non-interactive mode, sending tasks to Claude. I think the real workaround is going to be having your agents actually spin up a terminal. It's going to take more resources from your server or your host PC. Pop open the terminal, spin up Claude in interactive mode, prompt, get the data that it needs, and then bring it back into your system. I think that's going to be the true workaround. And yeah, but like Anthropic just continues to just hammer against open source, because I think ultimately they want to build their own, infrastructure and environment where you spend 24/7 in. Yeah, that's just a little brain dump right there. Like, listen, I love Claude. I love Claude's Opus 4.7 especially, but I don't like how vague they have been with the community. They knew their plans this whole time, and months leading up to that ban hammer, like they gave everyone a 24-hour notice. There was no 2-week notice, nothing. It was a 24-hour notice via email. Like, come on. So I did cancel one of my 2 max subs for Claude. I still have that second one, but I'm honestly considering downgrading it or canceling it altogether. The only reason I'm not canceling it altogether is because of this channel, right? It's for this channel. It's to use for demonstrations. It's to use to keep my finger on the pulse for all things Anthropic, to test their tools. So that's why I'm keeping one of those two. But yeah, I am using Whisper. Yeah. I don't have Whisper on all my devices because the nothing against Whisperflow. It's just mainly a main workstation thing for me. On my mobile, like when I'm talking to my agents, I just send them a voice note in Telegram or Discord. They transcribe it and handle it. And then Google has its own voice to text with Gemini built into the Google phone. So yeah, me too. You're not alone, right? And I think you can still continue to use Claude. There's always going to be a workaround, but they're just making it more and more difficult to use Claude via agents outside, let me be very clear about this, outside of paying for your own API token usage, right? Which is gonna be very expensive if that's how you operate with Claude via your OpenClaw or Hermes agent systems. So yeah, I mean, honestly, co-work is the one thing I don't like, but I'm loving everything else they're doing with the desktop app. I think they're going to continue to improve, right? Like, listen, like, they're good for a reason, but I don't like them from the perspective of how they handle things. They're not transparent, I think is to put it briefly and nicely. They're just not transparent. They will eventually share all the details, but when hundreds, if not thousands of people are hammering them the same question and they already know the answer, they're not going to tell you, just as we learned with the ban hammer to OpenClaw. They knew that was coming. They like internally, I'm sure they knew. Whereas with ChatGPT and OpenAI, they're actually more transparent about everything they're doing. Thanks to one individual, Tebow, who just really shares everything on Twitter. And then I think the one account for Claude is Tariq. He's like, I wonder how much Anthropic shares with him before they make a decision, to be honest, because he seems to be like that go-to account that you want to talk to for all things Anthropic, to get an answer from Anthropic, you know? I like Gemini to an extent. I have a Google Pixel phone, so it has this built-in voice to text feature that uses Gemini. It's not like I open the Gemini app to use it. It's just a little, you know, voice microphone icon on when I'm texting or, you know, any type of app like that. So it's just built into the phone. All right. Get it done. I want to test on that demo account. Oosh. Okay. We'll have to improve that. I also don't like that spacing, but I'm not going to be too picky with it right now. That's fine. That's not one we're focused on releasing. Let's refresh this demo account. Okay, that TY chat should not be visible. Okay. I mean, the base version works, so now let's wait for Neo to help restore those features we spent so much time working on. and I'll continue to test it. Yeah, hey, thanks for the questions. What I've done yesterday is built a Notion page. Hey, this is actually a great workaround that I haven't seen a lot of people talk about. This is like an interesting approach to unified memory or unified context for that matter. That is really cool. Thinking outside the box there, I love it. Oh, so you're saying that it's not only unified context, but that's their way of communicating back and forth? Is that what I understand? So, and when you say to get Claude and GPT to talk, are you talking about agents that are using Claude and GPT, or are you just more so referencing like when you're prompting Claude versus prompting GPT, they don't have that same context? Is that what I'm understanding correctly? What's up, Gator? Watching you stream last week inspired me to set up Hermes over the weekend. I since switched over to GPT OAuth, but okay, nice. I feel like Gemma 4 is still useful for automations. Like, test it on one automation to see how it does. Because if you think about it, right, if you follow the approach of when you create a cron, you create a skill that the cron reads first, and then sure, there's certain config and environment specifics in that cron, but the workflow itself in the skill, the step-by-step what it needs to do, I think the cheapest of models can execute that skill or that cron, assuming that skill is so insanely detailed that it doesn't matter what model executes those instructions. You know, you see my point? So yeah, try that. But I'm happy to hear it. That's awesome. Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea as well. Yeah, you know, I haven't, I wanted to test it over the weekend, but I was stuck finishing renovations. It's technically still the weekend, isn't it, Sensei? But today I'm actually gonna do an oil change on the bike and go find a shop to get a new rear tire. Hopefully I can get all that done today, but I'm gonna have some lunch after this and go handle that. And I still have to finish a few other things for internal tools, admin tools here on the channel. So it's a busy day. It's a busy Monday for me. But Gbrain is on my list. I'm wondering if we should do a theme of the day live stream where we just test new tools. You know what I mean? We kind of already do it in the sense of I just work on whatever I want to work on. So maybe we'll turn Wednesday into a Gbrain and what was the other one? Gstack. Maybe we test Gary Tan's deployments here. Might be worth a shot. Might be a fun video. I'm just gonna try the simplest of text. Please update our Hermes Chat Bubble plugin. Bubble plugin. Ooh. Just polishing off this French press here. I was on OpenClaw, finally switched to Hermes because of all the crashing after updates. Yeah, so currently it's the amount of time that I've spent on creating my own SOPs with how my agents operate, their daily meetings, their weekly meetings, how they execute things without me hand-holding unless it requires human review. Now, I know Hermes has a lot of this built in now, but one thing I'm curious on when I attempt to migrate the system for demonstrative purposes, how easy it is. Does everything work, or am I going to have to recreate every single one of my automations? Because I have upwards of 40 crons that they're not all daily. Some are daily, some are weekly, some are monthly. But I have a shitload of work done on my system. And then also Clearmud OS which honestly is being hosted from MuddyOS. MuddyOS controls it, but they're two separate web servers because I wanted a different mindset when I'm working on internal ops versus content creation, right? It's just, everything just works. And the amount of time it would take me to A, migrate, B, reconfigure all the scheduled crons, make sure all the skills are written in a proper way. Maybe I'll have to rewrite all the skills. I don't know. In theory, it should just work. I don't think it will. So I'm the type of person that if it's not broke, don't fix it. Yes, I'm frustrated with the occasional OpenClaw update that will brick my system and I'll have to get into an admin mindset to fix it, right? But I don't chase every new OpenClaw update. I generally wait weeks before updating OpenClaw. I don't care how behind I get, because my system works. So like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, I'm a big advocate of that. So that's quick TLDR. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm building out Product OS to serve a whole different purpose, right? I have my multi-agent team that handles my day-to-day, my content creation, internal ops. Product OS is everything external. Hermes is going to be responsible for this one. So this is still very much in development, but I'm now building plugins that turn into modules, right? So regardless of how Product OS looks, it's a direct reflection of that plugin with my skins, right? Man, this is a good question. This is a very tough question. I'm going to be honest with you, because it's like, I think the type of person that I am, I would still test both. I very much like to test things out. I very much like to experiment things. I don't want to take what one creator's saying versus the other. You know, there's a lot of creators who, I'm not going to name any names, but they will jump ship so quickly and chase the new thing, the hot thing, and saying that this is the game changer, this is the one, you got to drop the other one and learn this. They lose credibility for me because they don't stick to their guns. It's clear that they're just chasing views and clicks. I'm not like that over here. I'd rather make content around things I believe in and things I test thoroughly. And like, going back to your question, Alls, it's like, I would choose both until I figure out which one suits my needs, right? I would start off deploying an agent on each and then work on multi-agent. I would still take that same approach because of how my brain works, how curious I am. But, you know, I think if I were to recommend a family friend a multi-agent system that's just a personal AI assistant, I would recommend OpenClaw. If someone wants to build out a team that comes with a lot of useful plugins already pre-built, I would push them towards Hermes, just based off of what I know and all of my experience between the two thus far. So, but I would still always recommend, like, test both, see which one you like, and then roll with it. You know what I mean? They each have their strengths and weaknesses, for sure. Yeah, G-Stack every day. Okay, Sensei. I think Wednesday's live stream has been decided. I think we're gonna test the G-Stack and G-Brain. We're gonna have to, right? Maybe I'll test that on one of the demo accounts before I start feeding it personal context. Okay, nice. Makes sense. Okay, yeah. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna test out this plugin, or rather this skill that somebody created. Here. Also, something else I've backlogged is I'm creating what I'm calling Memory OS. It's just gonna be an Ubuntu server distribution that I'm setting up Honcho on, and I'm using an OpenAI API most likely. And it's going to be essentially a shared brain for Muddy OS and Product OS at some point. I'm not in a rush to make that one yet, but that's on my list. I love it. I love chat giving everybody advice. Let's go. Yeah, and like going back to my rant, I think it depends on the type of person and the type of agent they want to create and play with, right? Hey, right on. Thanks for all the great questions. Yeah, and like keep in mind, like I spent hundreds of hours building out my PM board, my team, all the automations that I have in place over here, right? Like maybe it's me not wanting to let go of all that hard work I did, but I built a lot of the work that comes pre-installed and pre-configured in Hermes. Rather, let me rephrase that. That comes built in, you just have to enable it. Because a lot of like the Hermes dashboard doesn't come enabled. The Hermes TY chat feature within the dashboard does not come enabled, right? You have to manually do all these things. So I think from that perspective, yes. Does OpenClaw eventually create their own? I'm not sure. But like, yes, I do. I've teased it quite a bit. I'm never going to show this one, but I've recently set up what I'm calling OptiClaw. Don't ask why. It's just very personal to me. And that's going to be my personal bot, and it's OpenClaw. Nobody will ever see the light of day. I've already created a lot with it. It's the first stop every morning. It has nothing to do with Clearmud. It's just strictly a personal OpenClaw system that I use for me. And I gotta say, I love it so much. I want to share it, but it's too personal to share. You know what I mean? And I've already shared literally everything. Everything else I work on, I share. So I gotta have something for me. Yeah. Well, so yeah. No, the office hours are going to come when the Discord opens up to the public and everybody inside the Discord becomes OGs. And then we have just raw community members that just join through a link. There's going to be no more like blocker. We're going to essentially have a 3-tier Discord community access. More to come on that. I'm only going to offer office hours within one of those tiers, essentially. But it will be quite a bit of time that I will spend in that channel. But yeah, I think for now I'll test it on YouTube. Like I try to make sure no questions go unanswered, but sometimes, and as the viewers grow, as the channel grows, I know that's going to become impossible to manage, but I'm going to do my best to address each and every one of them. Oh, I love it. Asking all's a question. Great. Oh, okay. You're not even talking to me. That's hella funny. I was like, how did he get office hours from what I said? Makes no sense. All right. Let's go check in on this guy here. Not sure why he logged out. All right, look at that. Chat is back. Nice. It's draggable again. Let's go. We can fix these borders. I don't like that at all. But now we can go straight to sessions if we have to restore a new session. We can go full screen. And let me just, this is kind of getting annoying. Let's bring this open. What is this? Oh, copy last assistant response. Ooh, that's a nice feature. Nice. Okay. This is great. Solid. Okay, I think we're at a good stopping point there. One thing I did notice is you updated that repository, but you didn't update our system. Our system is still using that dumbed down version that you deployed. Oh yeah, I meant to answer that. So first off, what model is your agent using and what reasoning level? If GPT-5.5, what level of reasoning? I have noticed one gripe that I have with this fresh OpenClaw that I'm slowly building for me is with Muddy OS, with Hermes, with Product OS, all of these systems that I already have a ton of context and SOPs in place, just guardrails, guidelines, etc., they work solid off of medium reasoning. But with this fresh OpenClaw setup I deployed, almost 2 weeks ago now, I still have it set to high because on medium level reasoning, it just felt stupid. And I say that word lightly. It just felt like it wasn't able to interpret what I wanted. It wasn't as intelligent on its own. But to me, I realized the reason for that is it had zero context. It has zero SOPs tied to it, right? And I'm asking it to do things with these expectations that I have from my other systems, from all the rules of operations I have put into place through hours and hours and hours of fine-tuning those systems. So on a fresher OpenClaw setup, I highly recommend using the high GPT-5.5 reasoning level, or thinking level for that matter. Yeah, check. I gotta say, I remember back in January, December, I had this issue with OpenClaw when I first configured them with Discord. And I think a lot of it had to do with me not setting certain rules of operations. Now, one question I have is your Discord chat. Does it go into your main session or does it create its own session ID? Because I think it's a matter of going into your main session and saying, hey, I'd like to improve our, the way we operate when I'm messaging you in Discord, right? So maybe try to access your OpenClaw TUI chat or dashboard chat and go into the main session and say, hey, I'm noticing some issues when I'm communicating with you on Discord. So I'd like to set some rules of operation. So try that approach first. And then also try asking the same questions that you ask in Discord in your dashboard chat or your TUI chat and see, are those two chats more effective than your Discord chat? If so, then you have a starting point of giving reference of your agent's doing the work it needs to do when you ask it to do it versus not, and saying, what's the difference here? What rules do we have to apply to that Discord chat for it to actually do the work? Right? So that would be my approach, just trying to vibe my way through the fix. So it's on OpenClaw, it's /think in chat. I actually incorporated that into, let me just do a new session here. So yeah, it's /think, and then you can type in low, medium, high. For Hermes, let's go check, shall we? Let's open up our chat, which is just looking so butchered right now. Let's just do hard refresh. And I believe it's thinking. I'd rather be sure. Oh, you know what? I don't even think it's in the TUI. Is it reasoning? Oh, it's reasoning. So as you can see, my reasoning is, so you would reasoning high. And now it's set to high, right? But it's only going to set it to high based off of your agent profile. So I am on the default agent profile, right? As of now. but medium works for me, so I'm gonna keep it on medium. Yeah, try moving them to high, but first try that approach of like testing the issues you're running into on Discord just straight into the TUI chat or straight into your dashboard main chat session, and see, are you getting the same output or the same symptoms of your agent not doing the work you're asking him to do? Then from there, like you then know where to go, right? Like just from a troubleshooting perspective, it's like if it works there but it doesn't work there, it's clearly something over here that you have to work on. If it doesn't work in both locations, it's a system-wide issue, right? Yeah, of course. Thanks for the great questions. All right, let's continue to chat. Test this chat plugin, Chat Bubble plugin. I mean, so it's looking solid. Listen, this is a demo account, the plugin we created. We deployed it from that repository here. It's working. Freaking love it. The only thing I don't like, I would say, is these borders on the corners. Like, that's the only thing I don't like. So I'm gonna try to zoom them in just to get a screenshot of them in one go. All right, I have one cosmetic tweak I'd like to make here. So I made the window really small, the floating chat bubble really, really small for you to see it, but you see how there's that bold curved line outside of those borders? I don't like the fact that the inner container is separate. So if you're gonna add those borders, make them thicker so that I don't see that small little line on each corner on the inside of the thicker corner. Does that make sense? Hope I'm explaining myself enough for you to fix this. Fix it locally first, and then we'll commit to Git once we're happy with it on our local setup. Welcome back, Mr. Baker. How you doing today? Today, guess what we did? It's currently still a private repo because I want to make some changes to it, but I will release this by the end of the week at the latest. But I just tested deploying the Hermes Chat Bubble plugin that we've been working on for the past 2 weeks now into a fresh demo account, and it works. No issues. It works on the default profile. We're now just making some cosmetic tweaks, and then I think since Wednesday we're going to work on something else. Friday we'll finish fine-tuning these plugins, and we'll release it at the end of the week. I don't want to release it too soon because there's still some things I want to test. Yeah, I'm stoked. Oh, that reminds me, we're going to test your theme right now. Let's go check it out, shall we? I actually squirreled. I was going to test this earlier, but totally forgot. Where is it? Showcase Mr. Baker Slop. Let's go ahead and... Nope. What? My hotkey for copying this VM. I think that's it. Now let's Shift Control V. Shift Control C. Good. So we'll do this out of the terminal. I love the name. One of these days you're gonna release something that's gonna kill it though. I'm an agent type of person. I'd rather just have my agent do it for me. So I just fed it the GitHub repo link and it's gonna take care of it from there. One thing I don't know if you did you create agent instructions for installing it? That's one thing I did for the chat bubble, is the README has, you know, a TLDR of what it does, etc., prerequisites, how to install it by yourself, but also how to install it with your agent. And it's just like copy paste this and it'll do the work, right? I thought ahead of like, I'd rather just have an agent do it for me rather than doing it manually. So why not add those instructions in the README of the repo? Listen, this is what I'm just gonna have my agent do it. Let's see what happens. Now let's go check. Oh, I popped Discord off screen, didn't I? So let's Control Shift R. Bam. Hey, that's looking much cleaner. Look at that. Ooh. Solid. Freaking love it. Good stuff. Oh yeah, and we moved that copy last response button up there. That's what that is. So instead of it being in the line down here, like it is here, solid. Sweet. Looking real slick. All right, let's merge to main, please. All right. Hermes Agent has a skill called Hermes Agent, which tells it how to install theme YAML. I always want to say YAML. All right. How do people pronounce this extension? I always give things a funny name in my brain. I don't always share these things, but here we are. Okay. This is good to know. Let's see if our agent just detects that on his own. I feel like he should, right? Yeah, he did. All right, let's, should we get impatient? Should we? Hey, we're getting impatient. But look at this. Look at that. Oh, let's go check out this light theme. Super simple. This gives me a like a VMware ESXi like left menu bar vibe. Dude, good stuff. I mean, it's working. One thing I'm curious about, didn't you have this color changed? Is it not done working, maybe? Didn't you give this like a bluish theme to it? Or is that something you adjust in the TUI per setup? So I'm gonna go test here. Nice. Let's see how this looks with your theme. Okay. Oh, this still has the old repo, so those borders are fixed. Icons are kind of out of place, but that's not your fault. Dude, I love the simplicity of your theme. I do. But I'm curious, how did you... Which is a good thing, right? Right? TUI skins are separate. Okay. Let's play with it, shall we? Hermes agent. Gotta love a default just news. Come on, Firefox. I don't want to see any of that. Should be clean. No news. I live under a rock for the most part. Oh, you're talking about within the Hermes. All right, skills. Search for skins. It's not finding anything, huh? Aha. Still didn't find anything from skins, so I'm just gonna manually go through to where I think I might find it. I would have thought it'd be in the terminal, but I guess if anything, this would be maybe in general. Ah, there we go. Let's give this a try. Save. Let's go back to chat. Do a hard refresh. Look at that. Ooh, looking clean. 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 Dude, that is such a simple feature that I didn't realize was there. I thought that was just a custom. To me, it didn't dawn on me to look through this. You've actually given me an idea here for a video. We're gonna do a video focused on the Hermes dashboard. We're gonna obviously show how to enable it. TY/floating TUI. So that's once I'm happy with that plugin. And then Kanban. I love it. I love it. This is great. What font is this, out of curiosity, that you're using here? I do just love how it's more legible. Like, don't get me wrong, this is a cool feel and all. I prefer something that's clear to read. But let's now go test that and that. Perfect. All right, so those thick corners, I'm wondering, can we do something unique to where the color of those corners change depending on the skin that's being used in the config for a Hermes agent setup. Does that make sense? Let me know if you have any question. To be more specific, if you go to the config tab, type in skin, it's under display. The default has this kind of yellow touch to it. The slate has kind of like a bluish. Then you have mono and Hermes, which, let me test here. I mean, Hermes kind of just feels like a lighter version of the default, so those colors can be the same. And then let's check mono. Oh no, forgive me, I'm on mono. Let's go check Hermes. So Hermes has an orange-red theme to it. So I think having a reddish-orange corners, right? And the reason I want to add these color-coded corners is when you're in that floating chat bubble, I really want it to stand out per the theme or the skin for that TY chat. Does that make sense? Let me know if you have any questions. Obviously, let's test it locally first. So I'm going to go back to slate just so I can, or let's go back to default so we can test the yellow corners first. Nice. Yeah, I knew I liked that font for a reason. Sheesh. It is almost noon. It's almost lunchtime. Wow. Yeah, so for today's plugins, right, that I'm building out, exactly. We're just adding plugins to the existing Hermes dashboard. I am building out Product OS, which is my own dashboard. For revenue generating products, free products, etc., etc. But I'm giving myself the option to create these modules, which is just a direct reflection of the dashboard itself. The Agent Atlas, it applies Product OS's front-end design skill to that plugin. But at the root, right, I'm thinking from a modular approach, whereas like the Hermes dashboard is actually pretty slick. So why not create plugins for that dashboard that I'm going to be utilizing within Product OS? So eventually, these are placeholders for Claude Crib and Prompt Browser, but I'm going to be creating my own plugins that are going to plug into this system here that are then going to be visible here, right? With my own shared PM board across, that is essentially the Kanban board. Yeah. Hope that answers your question. But yeah, the floating chat bubble I've been working on that we're testing right now is actually, this is a fresh Hermes demo VM of mine. And I'm just testing from the private repository I've created for the floating chat bubble. But, once you have the dashboard enabled, once you have the TY chat tab enabled, you'll then install this plugin and it creates this little chat bubble here across your entire OS. So let's say you're in the Kanban view and you're noticing something weird and you just want to prompt in a TY floating session in your Hermes dashboard, you can do so. It's pretty nifty little feature. So I'm just fine tuning this. This should be live by the end of the week. I know Wednesday we're going to switch gears and work on something else, and then Friday we'll come back to working on plugins. But I built this essentially live, like over the past 2 weeks, I think we've been building this live. And let's go test all these changes locally real quick. It should be done. Nope, he is still working. Yeah, and the whole purpose also, Adam, thanks. Also, thanks for the commenting, first and foremost. Welcome. I think this is the first time I've seen your name. The reason I'm taking this approach is, you know, thinking from the perspective of modifying core Hermes agent system files. Well, with future updates, they'll get replaced, and all that hard work will either break or have to be redone in some way, shape, or form. So by creating these plugins, these modular kind of plugins, it doesn't matter if you update Hermes, the plugin doesn't change, right? So the plugin is really dependent on the, you know, having that root Hermes system to operate off of, essentially, right? And then if you're curious about that theme I was testing earlier, this is actually somebody in the community. He created his own kind of theme that he shared with us. So I'm just testing it out. And he did a great job with it. I love it. I love the simplicity of it. It's pretty slick. But his is already live if you want to go test it. Yeah, it's time to go make some lunch here. I'm hungry. I just want to finish this next revision of this chat bubble. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to continue to work on it. For sure. But like it's so simple, but it's like maybe I make these corners sharper a little bit. This is the blue I've always used for the channel, and I kind of want to stick with it. This, I don't know why it's looking so faded. This used to be a richer orange and a richer blue. Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's brilliant of them to do this, to be honest. And like when I first did the initial thread, I just said, hey, I'd like to turn what we built into a plugin, and I want to start testing it. And then it made some assumptions at first, and I eventually fed it, which I have been doing since OpenClaw days. I go to its docs, I grab this link, right? And I feed it to my agent when I want it to build something. So it just references the actual docs to do it the right way that's documented by the creators of this system. And yeah, hey, awesome. First time listener, welcome. Thanks for being here. Yeah, these live streams, they've evolved over time. They weren't always this watch me work format, but I really love the watch me work format because, you know, I get to work on the things I want to work on, and then you get to just watch my process. Sometimes, like in past live streams, we would update OpenClaw or update Hermes. Hermes has never broken on an update, which says something. OpenClaw, however, like I've broken it real time and we've fixed it live. So yeah, listen, this is what you get here. We just build in public, answer questions, vibe with the community. Some days, I think in the future, I'll do like silent live streams where I'm just working, and I don't think I have that GoPro turned on, even if I wanted to. Yeah, it's not turned on. But I have a POV above the camera. I think eventually you get to see more of the office, you know? But yeah, awesome. Yeah, man, that's one thing you don't get here. I'm not here to entertain people. I'm here to be of service more than anything, okay? I'm sure I don't mean to, but maybe I might entertain some people just naturally with my personality. But my goal here is not to hype you, to entertain you. None of that shit, excuse my language. I'm here to be of service. So any questions that you have, even if I can't answer them, we'll try to figure it out together, you know? I think just above all, I'm trying to be of service. I'm not trying to entertain you, right? So that's the difference between me and those other guys. One other live streamer I really vibe with a lot is Ray Fernando, because he actually builds things in public and just shows the process. He's not a big hype guy, and I love him for that. If anyone does want to test the theme, it's quicker to just get the already created YAML finals from the final release page. The rest of the repos, the theme, build scripts, validation steps. Nice. All right, let's see how this is going. Copy the local path. Patch it locally first. Okay, sweet. Sweet. Which you don't need unless you're changing the theme. Yeah, hey, go check out Mr. Baker. If you want to drop the link in chat, here, I'll drop it in chat. If anybody wants to test this, I tested it on this demo account, and I'll continue to test community submissions in this demo account. I'm going to keep using it as my primary for now until it breaks, Baker. Let's, oh. That's right, I'm in that VM. And I didn't set up keybinds. Let's go into Discord. Honestly, I wish I could just pop out a server. Is there a way to just pop out a server? Damn. Keep servers in separate windows. Like, don't get me wrong, I like Discord, but I wish I had a little bit more control over the windows. And I wonder, I really hope that you guys chat right now saying, duh, of course there's a way to do it. I just didn't know how to do it. All right, verified locally. So let's go test these local changes here real quick. And as you can see, I also have the chat here in my product OS. But I haven't been working on this recently because I'm just dialing in these plugins first. This is another plugin that we built, Adam, that I'll tease a little bit more. I built it for me so I can visualize my multi-agent team because I really love the traditional top-down org chart view. And then I created a floor plan view of that. And this is all based on your agent profiles, right? And then also a 3D view just for fun, for shits and giggles, that you can kind of zoom in, pan, readjust your camera, etc. Click each agent and get like a TLDR of what the agent is. This is more vanity than anything, to be honest, but I was building it out for me, so I figured I'd turn it into a plugin that I'll eventually release as well. But let's go ahead and test this. Sweet, look at those yellow corners. That's slick. I love it. All right, I'm gonna sleep on that. That might not stick, but let's go ahead and change this skin to the slate to see if we get the nice blue. Do a hard refresh, go to chat, make sure that's applied. Interesting, it didn't change this like I would have thought that it would, huh? It changed the outline here. Weird, Mr. Baker, right? Shouldn't it just change this too? Huh. Weird. Okay, it did change these corners though, which is great. Solid. Why can't I drag this down? Oh, it looks like it's stuck of the contents of... That's weird. Yeah, Mr. Baker, I could have sworn on our demo account, when we change the skin, it changes up here. Huh. I'm gonna have to take a screenshot. All right, I'm loving the corners. It looks good. I have one question. I don't think this is related to any of the work you did, but I'm gonna paste in a screenshot here from a demo account. When I change the skin to slate, the banner when you start a new TUI session that says Hermes agent also turns slate. However, in our local system, it doesn't. It gives us a blue outline. It's attempting to change the skin, but it only changes it halfway. What could be causing this? This isn't any of the work that we're doing, correct? All right, let me catch up on comments here. That's so funny. Nice. Tony the mechanic, Clauzini, the most basic Hermes agent that lives on the same machine. Fix the OpenClaw for the roofers. Nice. Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. Hey, thank you, Level Up. Appreciate the feedback, man. I really do. Thanks for being here. Yeah, I guess that is one of the benefits there. Nice. That's amazing. What a coincidence, huh? That I'm naming this plugin Agent Atlas. Unless it just needed a bit of a... I'm actually now very curious. If I open new session, I wonder if it's just that browser. Let's see what happens. Nope, same issue, same symptom. All right. All right, I think this is going to be something that I'm going to troubleshoot myself because I got to take another bio break, and I think it's time for me to cut off and go make some lunch, go prep the lunch. So I want to thank everybody for spending your Monday with me and vibing. We'll make sure that one of these two plugins are live by the end of the week. I'll aim for both, but definitely the chat bubble I think is the one that's closer to being ready. Hey, I appreciate you, Sensei. Yeah, Wednesday is going to be strictly a GStack and GBrain testing type of day, so I'm excited for it. And I'm excited to have someone who A, shared the tool, and B, has alpha and quick tips and ways for us to test it a little bit more efficiently than testing it ourselves without that knowledge. So thank you, Sensei. Have a great rest of the day. I know, perfect timing, right? Hey, so thank you, new viewer Adam. Thanks for stopping by. Thank you, Mr. Baker. Thank you, Sensei. Thank you, Level Up. Thank you, Aquarius. Thank you, Gib. Thank you, Alls. And I can't keep scrolling up. My social stream only goes so far, so just want to thank everybody for stopping by, hanging out with me on this Monday. We'll be back at it Wednesday, same time. Until then, happy building. Cheers.